Hi students, welcome to the fifth chapter, Review on Reporting. In this chapter we will be learning subsequent event, going concern, written representations and etc. So we start with the concept called subsequent event. What is a subsequent event? A subsequent event is an event that occurs after a reporting period but before the financial statement for that period has been issued or are available to be issued. In simple, what is subsequent event? It is an event which is happening parallelly, an event that occurs after the date of the financial statement. Just for example, March 31st, when your financial year is going to be end, but before the reports are being issued. For example, just we assume that the audit procedure takes 3 months. March 31st, after 3 months, that is June 30. So a subsequent event that occurs after the date of the financial statements, after March 31st, but before the reports are issued, before June 30. So the due time or the duration between these two happening or these two events, that 3 months is there, no? So in that period, whatever the events which are going to be happen related to your books of accounts, that matters a lot. So that is subsequent event. There are two types or two scenarios of subsequent events are there. One is additional information and another one is a new event. What is an additional information? An event provides additional information about conditions in existence as of the balance sheet date, including estimates used to prepare the financial statements for that period. So the conditions leading to the subsequent event existed at the financial statements date. For example, there is a debtor or a customer in your company who is a continuous customer or a regular customer, but in the recent past or in that particular year, his financial conditions are not so good. So what the company will do, he is a regular customer, they gave the product on the credit basis, but the bank or the government has called him as a bankruptcy based on his financial condition. So what you gonna do? Because the conditions existed before the balance sheet date, you know about his financial condition, but still you have gave the goods on credit basis. What you will be doing? So for a transaction, this is an additional information, that's it. An event has been happened, that is the transaction, and another subsequent event has been happened, that is called as a bankruptcy. So what you will be doing? So you will just treat him as a bad debt, and you will recognize him as a bad debt, then you will disclose him or dispose him through your net profits. So this is one kind of or one type of subsequent event. What is the another type of event? That is new event. An event provides new information about conditions that did not exist as on the balance sheet. A new event, there the condition leading to the subsequent event did not exist at the financial statements date. There is no event on particular financial statements date. For example, if any casualty happened due to fire or a flood, can you imagine it? Can you assume it that gonna be happen? So this condition existed before balance sheet date? No. So it cannot be seen, it cannot be overseen, it cannot be planned, it cannot be protected too. So you can only disclose that it is a subsequent event happened in the due course of the audit period or audit procedure. So these are the two types of subsequent events. So the auditor is going to verify balance sheet date, date of the auditor's report, balance sheet date but prior to the date of the auditor's report, date of the auditor's report, and concerns contingencies which are not reflected in the financial statements. So these are the items that auditor is going to verify, and based on this he will be identifying or he will be categorizing these scenarios into additional information as well as new event. So how to control these subsequent events? So we cannot identify the subsequent events at the same time. Yes or no? We can't assume or we can't predict a subsequent event may happen. It is not going to be good because you will not gain so much. You will lose all the material benefits which you have gained so far in the previous year. So you will be losing that in the assessment years audit procedure. So how to mitigate or how to reduce the subsequent events in your company? So first you have to integrate the procedure. So the auditor has the right to go for the field work or to visit the client's place, yes or no? So the auditor have the right to visit the company's operations, and he has the right to check the list of creditors, debtors, their statements also. So by verifying it, he can predict the financial strength or the position of the company's debtors as well as creditors. So he has to integrate the procedures with some modification to access the books of accounts of the client to know the financial position of your client or the customers or creditors or debtors, anybody. So the auditor has the right to interview the client too. So auditor may wish to question client's personnel. It may be CFO of other company, operational in charge. So by interviewing them, he will be getting some more information about the client. Then he must ensures the knowledge of the client. The audit firm or the management of the company should have the knowledge about the client, because you can't give goods on a credit basis to someone else. You should know, at least he must be a regular customer to you. So the company management should ensure the knowledge of the client by having more number of information about the client, because that showcases the understanding the client ability in the planning of the company. Because whenever you are giving a credit sales, you will be thinking about the duration which you give to a debtor or a creditor, which you take from the creditor. Everything is very important based on the risk assessment, because before assessing the risk of your company, you can't fix the credit period. For example, you have to limit the length of the subsequent events period. For example, I have given the example of debtor. So you have a credit sale and you will be creating a debtor, and based on the credibility of your customer, you can fix the time from 30 days to 90 days. But 90 days is a huge gap, anything may happen, yes or no? So these are the things which an auditor is going to suggest the company to mitigate or to reduce the subsequent events in the company. What could be the management's responsibility in these kind of subsequent events? So the IAS 10 says events after the reporting period requires managements to consider the impact of that event which occurs after the year end on the financial statements. So they have been categorized these events into two categories. One is adjusting events and another one is non-adjusting events. What is adjusting event? The event which provides the evidence of the condition that existed at the year end and therefore should be considered in the transaction, balances and disclosure of the financial statement. Just given the example of the debtor, so you can adjust that with your books of accounts after the financial statements date too, because you will be having the existence of the condition there. What is non-adjusting event? Which concerns condition that arose after the year end and are therefore relevant to the following period's financial statement. If serious, though they could have a material impact on the business, these may need to be disclosed in the financial statement. So if it is a non-adjusting event, because the event which occurred after the due date of or after the financial year, then that has to be considered in the next year or the assessment year's books of account, not for the previous years. But if the impact of those events is more or high, which like I said, casualty, or for example all the goods which are there in the godown were ruined through theft or a fire accident, so you have to report that immediately and you have to disclose that in the audit report itself, because audit report is going to be exposed in front of the owners or the shareholders of the company. So to disclose those information, you can go for the non-adjusting events which cannot be adjusted for the particular year, so it has to be taken seriously in the audit report. So this is the management's responsibility. First they have to categorize the event. If it can be adjusted, then they can do in the books of accounts. If it is not adjusted, then that has to be brought forward in front of the shareholders of the company. Next is, what are the auditor's responsibility? ISA 560 says that subsequent events details the responsibilities of the auditors with respect to the subsequent events and the procedures they can use. So it will be based on the date. One is up to the date of the audit report, and between the date of the audit report and publishing the account. The first instance is up to the date of the audit report. Until this point, the auditor must perform procedures to identify events that need to be either adjusted or disclosed in the financial statement, just like additional information. Up to the date of the audit report, you will be getting all the information by the company. After that date also, you will be getting some of the informations related to the transactions which were happened in the last year. So that can be either adjusted or disclosed in the financial statement. Between the date of the audit report and publishing the account, whenever you after March 31st and up to June 30th. So this is better to understand, between the date of the audit report and publishing the account. During this period, the audit need not to perform the procedures, but if they identify any adjustment or disclosure that need to be made in the financial statement, then they must take appropriate action, because this will normally be in form of requesting that the directors amend the financial statements and then reissuing the audit report. So in simple, the event which occurred after the financial year's closings or the closing date of the financial year, then that has to be requested by the director. So the impact is more, so please adjust this in the current years or the previous year books of account. Then only the auditor will reissue the audit report. If not, then that will be treated as the assessment year's books of accounts. The indicators, responsibilities, procedures which are taken as the responsibilities by the auditor to curb or to reduce the subsequent events are: first one, inquiring into management's procedure or systems for the identification of the subsequent events. So the auditor is going to review the management's procedures, operational style, system of bookkeeping, audit procedures which are given by the management to identify these subsequent events. Secondly, inspection of minutes of members and directors meeting. So the auditor has to study the minutes of the meetings which are done by the members, board of directors and other various extraordinary executive meetings which are held in that particular year. So the impact or the resolution of those particular minutes will be very useful. So the auditor is going to inquire about the matters which are relevant to the subsequent events. Normally, if any events were going to be happen, there must be an assumption or there must be a slight layer of those kind of transaction is going to be happen. So in those meetings, any one of the board of directors or any members is going to be talking about that particular future aspects. So the auditor is going to study the resolution of those minutes, such if any minutes were there related to subsequent events, then that is going to be taken as a responsibility to have its impact and to come up with a suitable measures. Thirdly, reviewing the accounting records including budgets, forecasts and interim informations. So the auditor has to read the entity's latest available budgets, cash flow forecast and other related management reports for the accounting period after the date of the financial statements. Then acquiring of the directors if they are aware of any subsequent events that require reflection in the year-end account. So the auditor has to discuss with key officials or the designated post like CFO, CEO of that particular company, CS. So the company's policy on marketing of the products, price structure, then sales, cancellation of sales, loss of customers, new borrowings, capital commitments, fresh guarantees. So these are the some of the items where you will be having subsequent event, just like debtors or creditors engagement, or you could go with mergers and acquisition. That is also one of the example for the subsequent event. So the auditor is going to inquire the directors if they are aware about the subsequent events that is going to be happened in future or not. Then the auditor is going to obtain management's a letter of representation or a written representation related to the relevant events like subsequent events, whether it is considered in the preparation of the financial statement. If any precautions were taken while you are preparing the financial statements related to the subsequent events or not. If it is yes, then the appropriate accounts are verified whether the subsequent events are recorded properly or not. So this is also one of the procedures which is taken by the auditor while verifying the subsequent events. Then he is going to inspect the correspondences with the legal advisors, where the legal advisors will be there in the status of the litigations or the status of claim. So the auditor has to go with the chat with the company's legal advisors to inquire or extends the previous oral or written inquiries about the status of the litigations or the claims related to the company's legal entity. So those entities legal counsel concerning to litigation and claims have to be checked and verified, and what are the current status of those things that has to be ascertained by the auditor to know about the subsequent events impact on the business in the future. So that is also one of the important thing. Then the auditor is going to verify or he is going to examine the books of accounts with respect to the closing balances or the year-end balances of the various items like inventory, the stock, cash, current assets, and also some of the fixed assets, bills payables, bills receivable. All these things, closing balance will be verified by the auditor. And finally he is going to inquire the progress with the records of the provisions and the contingencies were made in the company's balance sheet. After that, the auditor is going to obtain an assurance from the management about the current status of the items which are appearing in the balance sheet, whether it is asset or liability. He is going to take the estimate or the inconclusive data related to those items. Then any events occurred or likely to occur in future which will have a change in the existing accounting policies, that has also an impact on the further or the future accounting transactions. So that has to be checked. And finally the auditor is going to check whether it is a going concern or not. So the going concern is the next topic. So in the next video we will be discussing what is going concern. If any event which may cast doubts about the validity of the entity's going concern assumption, so if that is the purpose, the auditor should remain alert for the circumstances which the significant doubts related to going concern. What are the indicators of the going concern and what is the responsibility of the auditor? Because a going concern is a business that functions without the threat of the liquidation, and it is going to be in the market at least for the future 12 months. So that is also one of the indicator or the responsibilities where a procedure has to be taken by the auditor to reduce the subsequent events. Thank you.